Forecast.
I feel like instead of failing layups in gym class, I should have been, learning some of that stuff.
Right.
That would have been helpful.
It's good for everyone.
If people who are 5'8" don't do very well with the layups. All right, first alert weather days. Let's take a look at Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, some high heat and humidity potential to extend into Friday. The reason why we haven't done that yet is because, well, that's kind of at the end of our 7-day forecast. A lot can change beyond, 5, 6, 7 days when it comes to certain patterns and trends. But we don't always issue first alert weather days in advance. We're talking, 4 or 5 days, unless we're talking about temperatures, because this tends to be, if we're going to talk about consistency, one of the more consistent things that can kind of pop up in medium and long range forecasting. Rainfall, snowfall, precipitation, that's a lot more fluid and kind of variable. So anyway, we did decide that there's been enough consistency for at least Wednesday and Thursday. We'll give it another day or two to see if we need to extend it into Friday. But there's some pretty high confidence that we could be dealing with some impactful heat, mainly heat index values at around 100 degrees. This would likely end up being Wednesday evening between about 3 and maybe 7 p.m. We could see the heat index right around 100 or greater. And it's not even just Wednesday, of course, Thursday. We cannot just get there, but likely better, about maybe 98 to 105, maybe 107. This depends on cloud cover, any pop-up showers and storms that may kind of keep us a bit cooler. But the signals are there for some impressive heat. So Wednesday, Thursday, those are first alert weather days. There is the potential, though, for some storms Saturday afternoon and evening. And I know we talk about rain a lot, especially this time of year. And so many of you come away with very little, some of you with a lot. So we're looking at another variable forecast. But this is kind of what we can see with that front moving in tomorrow. A warm front will lift northward. And as we've been seeing all week, especially on radar, wherever that front is, that's where storms kind of tend to form. And it looks like the front's going to be right around Fort Wayne. So we are expecting some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of them will be a little more intense than others, so that we'll see some off and on heavy downpours. Some of those rainfall rates could be impressive, ½ inch to an inch an hour. So something to look maybe even forward to if you haven't really been seeing much rain lately. And the flooding risk is fairly low since it's been so dry, so that's kind of the other piece of good news. The other thing we're watching, of course, would be any embedded strong wind gusts. This could certainly happen tomorrow afternoon and evening. This is going to be kind of moving through right during prime heating and instability. So assuming we don't have cloud cover and showers from any storms out west that kind of muddy the waters a bit, we could be set up for a pretty decent chance for some enhanced rainfall, some thunder, a little bit of wind. The severe risk overall is fairly low, primarily because instability, believe it or not, even with some sunshine in the morning, is going to be fairly lacking for super intense storms. But nonetheless, highly variable rainfall totals is the main takeaway here. Some of you will get rainfall amounts in the hundredths to tenths. Others could get rainfall amounts to around an inch or more, and in a very short amount of time. I remember it was either this week or last week, I was getting some messages about a brief storm that went through, and some people had to kind of pull off on the side of the road because it was just blinding. The rain was just so heavy. And then some other areas didn't see a single thing. So that's kind of what we're expecting throughout the afternoon on Saturday. If you are planning any outdoor activities, be prepared to seek some shelter, some cover as brief storms move through. Any one storm will likely not last longer than 15 or 20 minutes, but it's just something at least to keep in mind, that those wind gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour are most likely. Anything over 50 does appear to be more isolated in nature, would likely be the exception, as that way we do expect that damage and power outages would also be a lower end risk. It's not zero, we can never say that, but it's also not looking likely. Mid-80s looking likely for tomorrow's high temperature, with those showers providing a bit of relief. 83 with a shower or thunderstorm possible Sunday. That's about a 20 to 30%, so very low chance. Should be dry most of the day. 83. 82 on Monday, and then the heat builds. Upper 80s on Tuesday, low 90s Wednesday and Thursday. Those are our two first alert weather days. And then we tagged Friday as a watching day. We're just watching to see if temperatures will cool off enough to kind of keep us out of that heat-related illness zone, which is a heat index over 100. Right now, it looks like Friday could offer at least a little bit of relief.
You're not complaining about your job being boring these days or anything, are you?
No, these are the days I enjoy only because I like tracking active weather that keeps us on our toes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't enjoy impactful conditions.
Right.
So I hope